come to me.
That's how I felt watching this film. Hypnotized by one moment and gripped by unsettling dread the next, this movie is a roller coaster of emotions. I swear there's a 2-minute stretch of this film where I completely lost track of reality, utterly mesmerized by the beautiful Gothic setting and the rising tensions. Only jolted back by visceral and chilling and haunting imagery in this film.
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
This is a quintessential vampire film reimagined with modern filmmaking techniques. Robert Eggers masterfully utilizes everything he's learned from all his past films to craft a cinematic experience that lingers with you long after the credits rolled. Set in the early 1800s, the Victorian era backdrop comes alive with impeccable production design, dimly lit hallways, dusty libraries, and a rich wooden interiors to create a tactile world brimming with dread. The stunning cinematography elevates the atmosphere, painting a world where evil just simmers right beneath the bottom of the city, and it feels like a sinister old school Gotham. Film's greatest strength is the visual language. Sweeping shots, deliberate camera movements, and eerie pacing build anticipation for the horrors lurking around the corner. Paired with an editing style that feels like a waking nightmare, the line between reality and hallucination often blurs, leaving you as disoriented as the characters. This is bolstered by an ensemble cast that's stellar across the board, with Green Goblin himself, Willem Dafoe, being a standout amongst the main players of the film.
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
As a conspiracy theorist scientist that believes in the supernatural, he desperately tries to warn this unknowing town of the looming threat of Nosferatu. Dafoe balances manic fever with moments of levity, so not only creating this tragic character, but one that's entertaining as well. His impassioned warnings echo Javier Bardem's character in Doom Part 2 and how he was obsessed with the coming Messiah, and it adds much needed texture to the oppressive feeling of the film. However, the true standout in the main cast, the main characters of the film, is Lily Rose Depp. Her performance is nothing short of transformative, balancing the complexity of her character with remarkable skill. Whether portraying a devoted wife, a lovesick woman, or a terrifyingly possessed figure, Depp transitions between these facets with effortless grace. Physical performance during the possession scenes is especially harrowing. She was trained by a moving coach to learn how to do these movements, and they're so unnervingly precise, they feel otherworldly. It's a career-defining role and one of the most memorable horror performances of 2024 in a year of memorable female horror performances. If I hadn't known that she did all the movements herself, I would have thought this was CGI or editing tricks in the camera to make it look like it was speeding up or twisting and turning. It's both electrifying, sexy, and terrifying all at the same time. The movie builds dread, lust, and craving throughout the film in the narrative and the visual language, and is tied to every single thing every single character does. Count Orlok, Nosferatu himself, defines all that to a T. Nicholas Hoult plays Thomas Herder with so much heart that you feel all the empathy in the world for what he's about to go through as he travels to Transylvania for a fateful meeting with Count Orlok, who's a prospective client. In his absence, Hutter's new bride, Ellen, played by Lily Rose Depp, is left under the care of their friends Friedrich and Anna Harding. Plagued by horrific visions and increasing sense of dread, Ellen soon realizes that Orlok wants her, and all her loved ones are in danger because of it. Orlok manipulates Hutter and all the significant characters in the cast in efforts to try to reach Ellen. At the heart of it all, Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok, or Nosferatu, or all the many names he goes throughout this film, is the centerpiece of all the dread and everything that's going on in this film. It's a chilling and unforgettable reimagination of this iconic character. Skarsgård is completely unrecognizable as his character, disappearing into Orlok's mannerisms, this iconic and scary voice that makes him sound like a 1,000-year-old man. The hair and the makeup team outdid themselves here, creating a creature that feels otherworldly. I get why they made the choice not to show Orlok in the trailers. You have to see it in the theaters, in the context of what the movie displays, to really, for it to gain like the impact that the creatives behind this film wanted. Skarsgård's performance as this character is a masterclass on how to portray pure evil, monstrous, predatory, and vile. Vampires have been scary for a long time, guys. For decades, reduced to kinky and romanticized cliches, completely drained of their horror by pop's Twilightification of all the vampire movies that we've gotten recently. Eggers rejects this trend, bringing an old school approach by restoring vampires to their primal and terrifying roots. Lust and dread is intertwined throughout this whole movie, whether it's visually, the way the characters talk, what's going on in the plot, which creates this unnerving and unsettling feeling throughout. It's an exploration of the darker side of desire. The feeding scenes when he gets his teeth synced into people feel like an uncomfortable, weird sensuality to it. Couple that with the crazy possession moments, the rawness and the primal intensity of it all makes you squirm. This feels like folklore that people used to tell their kids to scare them and make sure they don't talk to strangers, or something that Christians will, protest right now because they think it feels satanic. Film builds tension masterfully, from the ominous arrival to Nosferatu to the devastating moments because of his arrival. Characters' cluelessness of the situation only heightens the situation as you watch with morbid fascination about what's about to happen to them. Eggers is 4 for 4 for me. He delivers an unnerving Gothic horror masterpiece and one of the year's best films. There's so much to say about this film, from the gory effects, the incredible sound design and score, and the nightmarish scenes that I've seen in this film that's gonna burn in my brain. This one particular one that happens in the main mansion that I was it blew my mind. But I'm gonna stop here because I could talk about this movie for hours. That's how fantastic I think the whole overall experience is. I have little nitpicks about the beginning of the film and the way it was paced, but other than that, that was so minor that is barely worth mentioning. If you were remotely intrigued about this film, run to the theater. Don't even think about it. And if you were curious about this film, I say give it a chance. You won't regret your time seeing this in the theater. I highly recommend an IMAX or a Dolby screening because I think that premium screen experience is going to even heighten and immerse you even more into this chilling world. So with that said, I'm going to give Nosferatu an A. Question of the day is, what is your favorite vampire film? Drop all your comments down below and let me know. And you can watch more of my content right now.